Okay, well, just wanted to talk to you a minute and give you an update on where we are with the Gallatin boots by Duradero. Uh, Put that video up back in September, kind of introducing the Gallatin boot, and I had some concerns shortly after getting those boots in about how they would actually wear, uh, and how the wear would be on them in the machine shop. And we'll talk about that, and I'll tell you what's happened since then. But let's go ahead and look at the. Here is the current status of the stock on the Buckhannon, the original OG Buckhannon that I'm featuring in this video. And you can see there's limited stock left on that. And also we're going to look and see what they have on the wax haul. I have a pair of the wax haul, and you can see they've got a little more stock left on the wax haul. This is May 2nd, 2025. They've still got a little bit of stock on these boots, so if you want to get them, I'd go ahead and grab them while they still have them. I've got that flex pull rust, and I love them in the wax haul. Okay, here we have the Gallatin boots right here in the middle, and we've got a pair of Buckhannons here. And we've got a pair of Thorogoods here, and the Thorogoods have a little bit different sole. They have this wedge sole, the Max Wear sole, and these, in case you're wondering, I used to know this number, 804-4378, 804-4378. And so this is the issue, and this is what these boots are up against, right? This kind of stuff right here. These metal chips from turning of different materials at work. This is, mild steel. And this is really the culprit of what kills a boot, because these things twist up in the sole. When they're hot, they melt into the sole. And it's just hard on any boot. And I don't really care what kind of boot it is. Okay, so let's talk about the Gallatin for just a minute. And I ordered these boots and received them in September, right around Labor Day, and wore them around the house. Didn't really do any work with them or work in them for a little while. I wanted to just wear them while they were still nice. But I ordered these, and also at the same time was taking advantage of the resole on the Buckhannons. But anyway, sometime in November, I wore these on a job where I was walking up and down a steep driveway. And the next day, or later that night, or the next day, I noticed that the front of these boots, and I've got to probably throw some pictures on here that'll show it a little bit better, but right there on the front started chipping out. And you can see in that boot where it kind of chipped out. This one chipped out a little bit harder, which is, I guess maybe I drive with that left foot a little bit harder. And so you've seen the metal chips that I was talking about dealing with. And so I was like, there's no way I can put these to work, because these soles will be ate off in no time. Ended up that I just kind of kicked around these on the weekends and did that kind of stuff, did work around the house in them, and worked on the car, did that kind of stuff, wearing these boots, after some time, after the new kind of left them. And then I decided 2 weeks ago, okay, I knew I was going to have some of this heavy chip load at work. And I was like, I'm just going to see what happens with these boots. Duradero is great about backing their products, and we've already had a resolution about the chipping on these, so there's no issue there. So I was like, let's just see what happens. Okay, now I've worn these about 80 hours the last 2 weeks. Well, it'd be more than that. It'd be closer to 100. And as you can see here, there are a few chips stuck in there. You see what I mean? The chips just stick in the sole. And right here, where some hot ones got in there, and right here a hot one hit, and one was stuck in pretty good there and there. And let's look at the other boot. Let's look at the bottom of this sole. Okay, we got one stuck here, a little bit of a chunk missing there, nothing too serious, and a little bit right there. Now, I don't know how long these boots will be able to take this. So far, that's about 100 hours, but let me show you how the Thorogoods do. Okay, that's why I've got these out here. Same thing. It's the same thing. They get stuck in there just the same. And let's look at the Buckhannons. I've had these Buckhannons a good long time, but I've been rotated. These have all, by the way, been in a rotation with each other. Now, well, I wore these, the Gallatins I wore for 2 weeks, but the Thorogoods and these Buckhannons have been in a rotation for, well, since October. And you can see that splitting time between those boots, the wear is really about even. I mean, you're seeing about the same kind of stuff. Now, I noticed one thing, and this is kind of the point about this video, the whole point about these Gallatin boots and this outsole on these boots right here. When you dig these out, when you dig these chips out, a lot of times they're going to bring this rubber with it. It'll be white. It'll be white where it's stuck to the chip, and sometimes a good chunk will come out. The ones I had resoled, there was several chunks missing, and that was after about 6 months, 6 to 7 months. I didn't rotate them. That was solid work on those boots, and these metal chips just ate them up. And I could have went a year. I feel like I could have went a year, maybe 14 or 15 months. But I was like, let's just go ahead and send them back in. I'd already bought these boots. Let's send them in. Let's see what happens. Let's see how they turn out. And that's what we've got there. And then here, when you take these out, they generally do not pull the rubber loose. They generally just come out, slide out, leave most of the material behind them. And like I said, there's a little piece there where it came out. But that's no different than these right here. I have pulled pieces that were stuck in sideways. Let me see if I can get a piece that would, just be stuck straight in, and pull them right out, no problem. Same thing on the Gallatins. They'll be stuck in, pull them right out, no problem. So like I said, this is where we are, and this is where I'm at with about 100 hours on the Gallatin boots. I'm going to start working them in the rotation though, so it won't be solid work. We'll be working those, rotating in with, I'm actually running 2 pair of the Buckhannon right now and the Gallatin. So three different boots I'm rotating that I've got in the rotation. I may just bring that down to 2. I'm going to clean these up. I'm actually going to clean these up and kind of use them as my work around the house boots, even though that may not make any sense. You'd think that would be probably the best bet in the machine shop, but anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. And notice here too how that steel just cuts easily. Those steel strings cut into this leather on the Thorogoods. This has held up a little bit better than that, and I have been kicking with these things and pushing and all kinds of abuse over the past 2 weeks with those boots. So I think they'll hold up just as well. Now, I'm sure I'll get chunks out of them, and I don't know if they will last quite as long as the Buckhannon, but here's the honest truth about all of this. Nothing that you're going to buy, I don't even know if the Super Sole Red Wings may be the only boots that could maybe stand up for longer than a year in the machine shop. And I don't know. I've never had any, so I don't know. I'm just guessing about that. But anything with any kind of, soft-ish sole is going to get wiped out in a year, maybe a year and a half. You might get a year. I think you get a year. I think you might get 2 years out of the Thorogoods. I think you get a year and a half out of the Buckhannons. Solid year, but a year and a half maybe on the Buckhannons. And also the same on the Gallatins. I think about a year to a year and a half on the Gallatins, which that's fine. I mean, that's the average. That's bumping the average in the machine shop. I mean, again, look at this. You know, how can you work on that and expect anything to really last a super long time, and definitely not a forever boot. But of course, with the Duradero, you get that free resole, and so that is a big deal and a good reason why I will continue to buy Duradero boots as long as they continue to make them. Now, I don't dislike the Thorogoods. Now, I love my Thorogood boots as well, but they don't give you that resole. So if you're thinking about these, they're tough. So again, with the customer service that they offer, I'm saying don't sleep on the Duradero guys. I mean, they're there for you, and they will make sure that you're happy with what you get. And if there's an issue, they'll fix it. They've got currently a 90-day wear test. I mean, come on, who gives you 90 days? I could wear these boots for 90 days, and on day 89, I could say, you know what, those aren't for me. And you know, they're not going to want them back, but they stand by their boots, they'll refund them. So I don't think you'll be wanting to do that. But anyway, thanks for checking out the video, and we'll let you know what happens with these Gallatins over the next month or so.